quite gentle, but down on the floor. Right, so all we're going to do first of all is just get some work into our lower abs. Feel how using our lower abs starts to bring some movement into our pelvis and some stretch into our lower back. So all we need to do to begin with is just pop the ball behind the knees. Rest in the head. Now slightly push the knees forward. So here we want to be in a neutral position, so there's that little bit of space between the lower back and the mat. The ribs soften down and the shoulders relax on the ground. We breathe in. With the out breath, we're just going to pull the belly button down towards the back. So lower back imprints the floor. And then breathe in, knees slide back above the hips. So as soon as you start to pull the belly button down, notice how it just tilts the pelvis back. And as the pelvis tilts back, it also brings a little stretch into the lower back. And sometimes if our back muscles are really, really tight, it inhibits those lower abdominals from working properly. Now start to notice the ribs. Gently press the back of the ribs down onto the ground. Use the out breath, drawing the belly button down, and in breath to release. And noticing the chin, keeping the chin nodded in, and then see if you can slightly peel the bottom off the floor. Don't worry if you can't, just stay with that first move. But you feel as you start to peel the bottom off the floor, those tummy muscles have to contract a little bit harder. Just going for 4 more here. Breathing in as you ease down. Out breath as you pull back. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And once more. That little tilt. And release. Placing the feet onto the ground. Take a hold of the ball above the chest, shoulders away from your ears, and the ribs holding down. So we just focus on the upper abs at this point. As we reach the arms back, we're keeping the ribs still, and we try to avoid the back lifting away from the ground. So once you're in neutral position, we're kind of locking that space between the ribs and hips. And then think about stretching through the shoulders. So as you reach the arms back, try not to allow the elbows to bend. And then again, this time as you go back, hold the ribs down. See how far you can take the arms without the ribs popping. And again, breathing in through the nose as you reach back, and then breathing out to come forwards. In through the nose to open, out through the mouth to centre. And again, just 4 more here. So you just get a feel of how the lower abs work and how the upper abs work. And then after 2, we're going to work them together. 1 more time. So from here, we're going to bring the knees up above the hips. Keeping the back now in a soft imprint, so you've tilted the pelvis back, press the belly button through and hold the ribs down. Same arms, just extending 1 leg, hold, and then see if you can lower your leg a little further, come to the diagonal and bring the arms and the leg in. So you open and then try and lower the leg. If it feels too much, taking the leg a little bit lower, just go from here back into the centre. Or again, you can take your leg higher. Your main focus is when you extend the arms and legs, not allowing that lift to come through the back. So you've got to really start to focus and listen to your own body. Think about the distance between the ribs and hips. Think about when you're extending the arms and legs, trying to maintain that distance and not letting them pull away from each other. And again, if you're still struggling, just take the leg higher and don't take the arms as far back. Almost like finding that bite point on your clutch, to the point where you feel it holding and working. If you go any further, the back's going to lift. So again, you're taking it to that point where you're not going to slip and then pull back into the centre. You're not going to stall, should I say. Maybe 2 more on each side. Again, just feel the muscles holding the spine, the ribs and the hips in place. Hold it, feel them working, and then pull back to the centre. Last one each side. And then we're going to find a little bit of stretch for the lower back and a little bit more challenge for your core. So bring the feet down, take the ball under the bottom, So if you look from above, the ball's sat between your hip bones. With your bottom balanced, hands by the thighs, and a little tuck in with the chin. Now from here, just push your knee up to the ceiling and lift your foot off the floor by an inch. So you're just pushing it up and placing it back down. Without the hips or the ball rocking, you push the left knee up and place it down. It's not a very big lift, it doesn't need to be. But what you're trying to do is keep the pelvis and the ball still. You're breathing out to lift the foot. Now, as you bring the foot down, it's on an eggshell. So when you lift your left foot, do not push into your right foot. Feel how that makes your core work even harder. So you're pushing the knee upwards and then hovering. And again, a little hover and back down. Try and still not to push any weight into the opposite foot. It's amazing how hard these actually are when you do them properly. 2 more on each side. A little lift and a release. A hold and a release. 1 more each side. Up and again. Last time. And rest. Now from here, bring both knees above the hips. So balancing that. Both knees at 90. Knees hip distance, so you're not squeezing the knees or the feet together. Just find your balance. You've got the hands on the floor. Now from here, just tilt your pelvis back so you get a little stretch into the lower back, and then press your tailbone back down to the ball. So the ribs are still, and you're just doing that pelvic tilt. Tilting the pelvis back, and then pressing your tailbone back into the floor. The hip bones point towards the head. And then you point them up towards the ceiling. Breathe out through the mouth. Now hold in here in the centre. We're going to lift the arms. Do, do, do. Pull both shoulders back, anchor them into the floor. Now from here, just let your right arm reach back, and then your left arm. Breathing in, and breathing out with a lift. Again, once you have your balance, you can then start to add in the opposite leg. So right arm, left leg, just like we did before. You've just got your bottom balance on the ball, that's the only difference. Breathe in as you extend. Hold it. Breathe out, pull back into the middle. So again, in as you open, hold, out, pull back. Feel both shoulders anchored to the ground. And then see if you can take your leg teeny tiny bit lower. Perfect. 2 more each side. If you do need to rest, take a rest. But try not to let the hips rock as you move the arm and the leg. 1 more each side. Again, a little bit easier said than done. Bring the feet down. Get the ball from under your bottom and have a little roll onto the side. So into a side lying position, just going to place the ball between the feet, both legs out straight. Little stretch, a little bit of strength for the waist, arm above your shoulder and your palm facing forward. You're going to reach towards the fingers on the floor, so your palm faces the floor, and then come back into the centre. Breathing out as you reach over, and a breath in to the centre. So you can do this now without putting your feet back on the floor. You've got the ribs and hips slightly drawn towards each other. And as you lift the legs, starting to feel a little crunch into the waist. So you can lift the legs a little higher. Breathe out on the lift. And really stretch out that top arm. And reach past your fingertips on the floor. 3, 2, last one. And rest here in the middle. Take the ball. You're going to roll over and come face down. The ball under your breastbone. So what this is going to allow is us to flex a little bit further forward. So then we can create more extension and lift through the upper back and the mid back. So from here, start the hands, elbows out in line with shoulders, chin tucked in. Allow your forehead to come down to the floor. Draw the tailbone towards the heels, and as you breathe out, just lift the forehead. And a breath in. Feel how that just gently curves the upper back. Now as you breathe out, keep the length in the neck and lift through the upper body. Notice your hips. Try and keep them in neutral positions, the tailbone softly drawing towards the heels. And this stops our lower back taking over. It encourages the muscles through the upper back, which give us really good posture, to really start to work again. Now if you'd like to, from there, you can bring your hands to your head. And as you breathe out, then you've got a little bit more lift and a breath in as you ease down. Out breath, lengthening as you lift, breathing in as you release. And again, doing 5 more here. If you need to remove that ball if it feels uncomfortable for any reason, feel free to do so. Try and keep drawing the tailbone towards the heels. And then the last one. And rest. Okay, from there you can roll onto the opposite side and bring the ball between the feet. So to get all the components of your core to work. Legs straight, head rested, top arm reaching up to the ceiling. And then when you've got your balance, taking a breath in, try not to press that, there we go. Breathing in, breathing out, lift and reach, and a breath into lower. I think I'm disturbing somebody's neck. She's not looking very happy. Breathe out through the mouth. You can have a fish stick when it's all over. That didn't make you look happy either. And try and go for more reach right over to the fingertips. And as you're lifting the legs, feel like you're pushing up with that bottom leg. So just getting a stretch and work into the waist. Breathe in slow, breathe out strong. And again, reaching that little bit further. And 4 more. 4 and back. 3 and back. 2 and your last one. And rest in. So I'm going to turn onto the back next, and we're going to place the ball behind the lower back. So coming into seated, we're going to place the ball behind the bottom and just get comfortable really. Have a little lean back, don't have the knees too close, nice distance in front. Belly button press into the back, it's like you're trying to press your belly button into the ball. The arms in line with the shoulders, and from here, leg extensions. Squeeze your right thigh, and then place the foot down, and then your left thigh, and place it down. The ribs keep slightly pulling down towards the hips, so you feel those upper abdominals working. They don't be tempted to look down. Keep looking forward so you've got the feeling of lengthening through the neck. Then you're going to add in the opposite arm. So you're going to reach up to the ceiling, right arm, left leg, and vice versa. And when you lift the arm, you're still trying to keep the ribs held down. Breathe out strong, breath in slow. Out through your mouth, in through the nose. Reach up like you're trying to touch the ceiling, but you're trying to hold the ribs down at the same time. For 4. 3 more each side, so it's 6 in total. Just so we're clear. Last 2 each side. And again, 1 more each side. And then let's do some twisting next. So palms face in. You're going to pull the elbow back, touch the ground. So there's a little lean back and reach forward. Pull back, reach forward. You're going to turn the chest from one side to the other. As you pull the elbow back, try and get to touch the ground. Keep the chin nod in so the head just rotates with the upper body. Breathing as you roll back, out breath as you push forward. And 4 more again, each side. So just starting to work back into the obliques. 2 more each way. Almost there. And then resting. Take the ball now, bring the ball back in line with the shoulders. Tuck under the bottom, take a little roll back, bring the ball to the chest, and then push the ball forward, and then reach up to the ceiling. So you're going to bring it down, roll back, bring it into the chest, keep the chin tucked in, push forward, and then lift. So you're getting that full roll through the spine. And at the top, you're getting that extension through the spine as you reach the arms up. So really good for the back, and moving in both directions. And again, tailbone under, vertebrae by vertebrae coming down to the ground. Eyes forward, arms lift, and give me 5 more of those. And then that's just got the spine moving nicely for the next one. This is going to be a nice, easy one today. Last 2. And then we're going to do the roll back. So we're going to take it the other way this time. So at the top, just place the ball between the feet, and then when you're ready, rolling back down. You're going to bring the knees above the hips, legs as straight as you comfortably can. Like we began, little tilt back with the pelvis, rolling back as far as you comfortably can, and then back down onto the bottom. So you might feel from here, you just get that little pelvic tilt, and then you bring the bottom back to the floor, which is fine. You're still getting that feeling of using the lower abs, drawing the belly button to the back, and the bottom down on the floor. Again, all the way over to feel roll in the spine. Now it's okay to use your arms to help you get up. What I would like you to do is relax the arms as you roll down, 1 vertebrae at a time. Use the out breath as you pull the legs back. Take a breath in and then breathe out to roll back down. So let's go with 2 more of those. And then we can bring both movements together. We can roll backwards and we can roll forwards. So this time, when you bring the legs back into the centre, roll up through your upper body and reach forwards. Feet can come down, roll back, and then again, a little bit harder, bending the knees and not letting the feet come back on the floor. If you prefer, let the feet come down to the ground. So again, it's that nice control all the way through back. Breathing out through the mouth, breathing in through the nose. It's a little harder to come forward with straight legs, but you can do it, it's fine. Got time to practice, all the time in the world. Again, slow breath in, scoop back, out breath, come forward and hold. 2 to go. And then with your last one, you get to rest in the middle. Place the feet down. You can ditch the ball, pop it to the side. From here, just taking a little roll over, coming onto your hands and your knees, and taking a release through the lower back. So on your hands and your knees, hands under shoulders, knees back in under the hips, a little tuck with the tailbone, and then just let your hips rock from side to side. So what we're looking for is a stretch in the lower back. If you let your rib cage rock, you're not going to find that stretch. So press into the hands, keep the ribs still, and just feel like you're wagging your tail. I'll get Lex to teach this one day. Doesn't like she's up for the challenge right now. Once more, and then resting in the middle. So your right arm, your left leg. I'd like to just reach it forward. I'd like to then lift, and we're going to do a little crunch here for 8. So you pull the knee out wide, you pull the elbow back so the elbow comes in line with the shoulder, and you're keeping your hips, your shoulders really square to the floor. Last 3, breathing in, keep the supporting elbow soft, breathe out, push forward, and your last one, bring it down. Take a little cat stretch, just draw the belly up, Push the chest forward, roll the shoulders back, and ready to go again. Other arm, other leg though. Thumb to ceiling, shoulders draw back, lift. Turn your palm to the floor, and then the thumb back up to the ceiling. Your challenge is to move the arm and the leg without moving any other part of your body. Ears staying high, line the shoulders. You've got one more or two more. We'll do two just to be sure. And then bring the hand down under the shoulder and take another cat stretch. Just drawing the belly up, then gently pushing the chest forward and just getting some movement back into the spine. Just line the back to move. Movement's always good. And then resting in the middle. Tuck the toes when you're ready. Walk the hands back, roll onto the heels, lift at the hips and sweep back with your fingers. Allow yourself to hang for a few seconds so it releases the back of the body. Try and keep the weight in the heels, soften the knees. Breathe in a lot and then breathe out, sink. Let your chest go down towards the thighs, the head sink down to the floor, down to the ceiling. Makes perfect sense. Knees soft, bottom under, belly lifts and your spine restacks. The head lifts and the shoulders get to melt one more time. And then from here, reach the arms up, take your left wrist, press your palm to the ceiling and push your left foot into the floor. And then gently pull the arm across. Now lift with the ribs and let the ribs slide across. But keep pushing down gently into your left foot so you get a nice deep stretch here. Don't want your shoulder to come forward because then it twists into the lower back. You're trying to roll the shoulder back so the arm comes next to the ear. And then into the centre, left hand, right hand, pressing up, left hand pulls. Opposite side. Breathe in. As you breathe out, press into the right foot and gently drag the hand over. And then into the middle. And now you can release. And now you can enjoy your weekend. Well done, ladies. Good work.